Hey, it's Whitney, here to talk about how stress, fear, and negative thinking can cause you to gain weight and make it really hard for you to lose weight. This video is part of a series I do on this channel every Wednesday called Healthy Balanced Vegan Body, in which I summarize a book and share with you the top tips on healthy weight loss, on how to get into shape through fitness, and how to feel your best overall through the plant-based diet and lifestyle. This series is sponsored by my friends over at Organifi, who make some of my favorite products, including a probiotic that I take every single day. It has really impacted my life, and I'll tell you more about that at the end of this video. Today's topic is based on this book called Visualization for Weight Loss by John Gabriel. I got this book about 9 months ago, and to be honest, I was kind of skeptical about this. If you don't know much about visualization, it's kind of similar to meditation. You may have heard of something called the law of attraction, which is based on thinking about something, about imagining it, and that will help make it come true in your life. That'll help make it happen. And I just couldn't wrap my head around how visualization could lead to weight loss. So I read this book and I learned so much. It is loaded with great information. I'm going to share with you all the top things that I learned. I actually took so many notes on this, and I'm not going to go over all of them because that would take like an hour. But if you want to see all of my notes, you can actually download them by signing up for the newsletter down below in the description field, and I'll send those notes to you in a free PDF. Visualization is an approach that's accessible to anyone with an open mind. If you're already thinking, I don't think this is gonna work, and I'm not gonna read this, I'm not gonna believe this, then it's not gonna happen. Although, of course, I didn't think it was gonna work, but I retained an open mind, and that's how I really learned so much from this. The cool thing is about this process is that you don't have to struggle or deprive your body in any way, which is very different from most ways of losing weight, getting in shape. It seems to require so much work and change in your life, where this is something pretty simple that you only have to do for like 10 minutes a day. Visualization is uniquely suited to retraining your body to be thin, and in John's opinion, it is much more so than dieting and exercise, because it works from the inside out to change your biochemistry and neural pathways. And he has tons of studies and research to back up all of his points. The number one thing that John talks about in this book is stress. He says that the stresses in our lives are tricking our bodies into wanting to gain weight for survival reasons. That's because stress leads to hormonal changes that cause weight gain. And being overweight can cause stress, leading to even more weight gain. Chronic stress can add 10 to 20 pounds on average to people's bodies. When you practice visualizations, your body actually gets rewired for calmness instead of stress. So that alone is a reason to try these. I mean, who doesn't want to be less stressed? Stress actually can cause all sorts of issues in our life. John says that restricting calories leads your body to produce more of the stress hormone called cortisol, which makes you hungrier and eventually creates more weight gain when you succumb to your cravings. The real issue is hormones and hormonal balance, and this extends well beyond food. Your thoughts, your belief, your sleep, and even the air you breathe contribute to your chemistry and your hormones. The weight-regulating hormone leptin plays a huge role in how much you weigh. Man-made foods usually cause leptin resistance, and real foods, like whole foods, usually help reverse leptin resistance. So he recommends that your goal becomes to consume fats, proteins, and carbohydrates that reduce stress, reduce toxins, reduce inflammation, and reduce leptin and insulin resistance. A good rule of thumb is if it's nature-made, it's good for you. If it's man-made, it's bad for you. So some examples of real good nature-made foods are live organic nuts, seeds, salads, vegetables, most fruits, cold-pressed nut and seed oils, herbs, and spices. He does mention animal products in here, but you can look over those if you're focusing on the plant-based diet. He also recommends that you consume fermented and cultured foods to heal your digestion, and foods that are high in omega-3 fatty acids to help reduce inflammation and help reverse those leptin and insulin resistance. Visualization is actually extremely effective for killing junk food cravings and food addictions. Since I mentioned meditation earlier, this is an interesting thing that was discovered through some research, was that people lost more weight when they meditated than they did with just diet and exercise alone. So since meditation and visualization are pretty similar, you can swap them out back and forth, but reading this book will really help you understand what the differences are. There's a lot of emotional elements to losing weight and gaining weight, and one of them is that fat can make us feel safer when we think that the world is unsafe. People are unconsciously using weight to protect themselves, and John calls this emotional obesity. I loved this point that he made, that genes are not the most important consideration. Far more relevant are the beliefs and habits that activate our genes. So positive habits, positive thoughts, and positive beliefs can switch on our get thin genes, while negative thoughts and beliefs activate our fat genes. Beliefs are at the core of healing, health, and well-being. Once you start addressing the real reason your body is holding on to weight, you can lose it quickly and easily. But if you are harboring the notions that it's hard for you or you're not meant to lose weight, those beliefs will get in your way. Sleeping better will give you more energy and clarity, reduce sugar cravings, and accelerate weight loss. Sleeping less than 6 hours a night was significantly linked to obesity in a number of studies. And people who are trying to lose weight will lose twice as much fat when they get a full night's sleep. I know so many people, myself included, that are not prioritizing sleep, and that's become a new thing that I'm really focusing on with my lifestyle because it really impacts your health overall. So before I wrap this up, I just want to give you a few steps to visualization. Of course, John goes into so much more detail in this book with all of these different visualizations that you can do at home. Number one is to make affirmations. So some examples of that are weight loss is easy. I crave live, real, vibrant foods, and I am safe. Anything that's very positive, that's based in the present, that's saying you're doing it now, even if you're not actually doing it now, you kind of need to trick your brain into believing it. That's kind of the core of an affirmation. Number two is to imagine that any excess weight you have on your body is melting off. So that's part of a visualization exercise. You just sit there and just imagine that it's all coming right off your body quickly and easily. Number three is to picture your desired body shape and imagine what it feels like. You might kind of have this vision of what you'd like to look like, but have you ever really thought about what that would feel like in real life when it happens? And number four is to envision the coming days and months. See yourself becoming fitter, healthier, calmer, more confident, and more desirable. So think about your future, put a positive thought on that, and really imagine what that's going to be like. Take away those negative thoughts that it can't happen. So those are my favorite points from this wonderful book. I've linked to the book down below, and of course, as I mentioned, if you want more of my notes, I have a ton more details that I share in that free PDF, which you can sign up for that newsletter down below in the description field. Thank you so much for watching today. I hope you learned something. If so, please let me know in a comment. Have any of you read this book? Do any of you practice meditation and visualization on a regular basis? Do you see it having an impact on your life? And if you have any questions for me that I might be able to address through my experiences in reading this book, let me know. I'd love to help you out. I'm really here to support you. I want to give a huge thank you to my sponsor, Organifi. They're the ones that made this video possible. As I mentioned, they have a ton of wonderful products. They've got a green juice powder, probiotics, which have really helped me heal my gut, become more regular, feel my best overall. Love, love, love them. They have some wonderful turmeric supplements out there, and all the information is available on their website. And you can also ask me any questions about them and my experience in the comments. They are offering you a 15% off discount if you use my code, and all those details are linked down below. That's it for today. I will see you next Wednesday, and in the meantime, please check out Eco Vegan Gal on all your favorite social media platforms: Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter, on and on. They're all linked to you down below. I'd love to connect with you there, keep in touch, and just see what's going on in your life. I can't wait to see you next time, and until then, all of the best to you with your journey through getting that body and health that you're really looking for. Bye.